the music, guys. It's the Man United agenda, and we've just lost 4-0 at Brighton. Welcome, everybody, to the Man United agenda. I'm sure some of you are tuning in to laugh at us. Some of you might be tuning in to cry with us. But whatever reason you're here for, let's do our best just to get through the show. That's the main thing first. Me personally, I'm very disappointed with today's performance. But I'm pleased to be joined to help me soothe my sorrows with Pat. So, Patrick, how's your day going? It's besides the game. Was the weather nice? Are you?
Very sunny, Monday. Very sunny indeed. It has been since this morning. The day was very good. It's very good. It's very sunny. Got some bits and pieces done today. So yeah, it's very good. Very good on Monday. Very good. Yeah, not bad.
So Patrick, do you plan your days around the game? Do you say, right, I'm going to get A, B, and C done, and then enjoy the game? Is that how you plan it?
No, I was at the gym very early this morning. I just got bits and pieces done this morning, and I knew the game was coming up later on. There's no planning really, but with the season coming to an end, there's not much. And with that, in that vigor and that enthusiasm, it's slightly waned. That's all. All right.
Connor, all the way from America. I know you're hours behind. That's right. So how's your day been? I mean, obviously you must be really early by you. So
yeah,
how do you prep around the game? What did you do before and after? Did you plan?
I watched. I kind of assumed that I was going to be disappointed as much as I predicted a win. I kind of assumed I was going to be disappointed because Brighton's a very pesky side, and of course, with how much the commentators like to go on and on and on and on about how terrible their home form is, it's just perfect that when they finally have a great home game, it's of course against us. It's just how it always is. The commentators love to talk about how bad people do at certain things. And then against us, it's the exact opposite every single time. So I kind of was expecting misery. But no, I watched Formula One this morning, and then the next qualifying's in a little bit. I might watch that. It's getting up into the high 20s, low 30s this next week.
Oh, wow.
Here, and yeah, 'cause it gets hot really quickly in California. So we were up in the high 20s already a couple weeks ago, and then we're going back up into the low 30s starting this next week.
Lovely weather. We're getting there slowly, but
I got a pool at my apartment. I got a pool, so I'll be hit. I've hit the pool already a couple times. I'll be hitting it again sometime soon.
Wow,
love it.
That's lovely. No pool over here, just a couple of canals, some barges, and that kind of thing. But there's a song by Tony Tone, which says it never rains in Southern California, but you're in Northern California.
I'm in Northern California. It rains a hell of a lot.
Okay. So that's our intro, guys. Unless we're going to keep this short and sweet because I'm gutted right now. So let's talk about the lineups. Obviously, we're playing Brighton away. Top four's out of the equation. Start with De Gea in goal. Any objection to that?
No.
Even though there's nothing really to play for, do you think Hendo should have got a shot? Maybe is there a question mark? No.
Hasn't done anything to prove that he should.
Exactly.
Okay, we've got back four: Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Telles. The only talking point there is maybe Harry Maguire didn't start. Any issue with you guys?
I have an issue with Telles starting ever.
I
have an issue with Telles starting any game ever.
Yeah.
Again, so yeah, I have an issue.
Or before?
No, even before today. I haven't liked him all year. As much as people have banged on about Shaw being crap this year, Shaw at his worst this year has still been 10 times the player that Telles has been.
Patchy, do you agree with our man?
Totally. 102 million% actually with Telles, as I saw today. Him and Laurel, he's another part of Laurel and Hardy, the comedy duo down there, be on that defence today.
I don't even know if he's fit to lace up with you, OMONDI, and play that 65-year-old last week in Sunday League.
Probably not. We'll get on to Telles because I've defended him and I feel let down by that young man. And I think he has to go brutally, yeah. Matic and McTominay in midfield. No Fred starting. Any issue with that, guys? What do you think? Fred's come back from injury. Patrick, what do you think about those two in midfield?
I mean, they played the last game's coming up, aren't they? But there's nothing to play for today. But what happened was Brighton basically just swept over them. To fair, Mata knocked it about, does his usual, knocks it about, moves again, tap, Matic, but they were both slow and they got taken off in the end. Left them. And
that was the one thing, yeah. I heard the commentators say a lot when I was watching. They're like, the problem with starting Bruno and Mata together is neither of them are relatively quick. Ronaldo's not extremely quick anymore, especially not how he used to be. He's still a pretty quick player, but he's not nearly as fast and rapid as he was. And then you have Matic in the midfield and McTominay in the midfield. You really have no pace. And they even said there's no pace above the back line except for Elanga. So we're literally relying on any high-paced action coming out of one guy who's 19. And I think that's completely unfair. I think, honestly, I'm a big fan of Ralph. I think that, honestly, mostly this has been the players letting him down and not him, being poor, especially because he's gotten the Austria job. I think that kind of just shows that he's a lot better than the results are showing. I think this is a poor lineup by him today against a very quick Brighton side.
Yeah. I think that midfield, do you know what it was like on Monday? Like in Game of Thrones? It's like the Valley of the Dead came sweeping across our midfield and just swept our midfield away in like a Game of Thrones. I know we haven't seen
They're really quick. It's a really quick Brighton team. And set up with a lot of slow players, it was never going to work. I think it really hurts us. It really hurts us having Sancho and I honestly will say Rashford out.
Connor, what was the alternative? I know, just for the midfield though, who else would you have maybe gone with?
I probably would have brought. I think honestly, Hannibal. I don't get why he's been out. I know apparently it's not that he's angry about the Liverpool thing. So I don't know what it is, but I feel like he should have played instead. Garancho. Do you want to just
discuss that story, please, about the Liverpool thing you said?
Yeah. So there's a mix. There's mixed reports. There's one person who I trust a lot more, Laurie, who said that there's no beef with Ralph when it comes to him being angry about the cameo of Hannibal during the Liverpool game. But then there's another report from, I think it's like Mark Oden or some buffoon who clickbaits United all the time, that says that Ralph is furious at how Hannibal played that Liverpool game in his brief cameo. And so that's why he's not started. I honestly believe Laurie. Laurie's been Laurie's a lot closer to the club and is a lot more legit from what I've seen in past time. And a lot of people, including Mark and other people, are very, very unreliable.
What do you think,
Paddy? I say it hurts us, Rashford being out, because he at least has pace. It's someone who can match the pace of the Brighton side.
So what do you think about that, Paddy? So about the issue with Rashford, you made a really good point. We've only got one guy who can get in behind defenders in Elanga. And what do you think about the other issue that Connor raised about Hannibal? There's reports saying that the manager was unhappy with him, the way he performed against Liverpool.
To be fair, I'd still play Hannibal regardless of that. I don't know where the manager was going with it. If he's going to be that personal about it. But Rashford doesn't justify coming on at the moment. I think his form's lost. I just don't think he would make it. It wouldn't make a lot of difference today. I think his form lately has been bad. I think he needs to start next season under a new manager. Leave it now. Leave it these games. One game left. Don't bother.
Fair enough. So going up we have Bruno playing, Elanga and Ronnie up front, and I think Connor made some really good points about Elanga being the only man with pace to get him behind. Anyone else in the reserves or in under 18s you feel should have maybe started or come to you?
If they weren't in the FA Youth Cup final, I would say start the entire under 23s. Literally just bin everybody in the first team right now. Yeah. Tell them to go on holiday early, and literally last game of the season just play the entire U23s against whoever we have, because I don't even think we're playing anybody that good. I think
Palace.
I don't know who. So Palace is actually a fairly good team. But still, I would bin everybody, tell them to all go on holiday, and then just start our entire U23s in the last game, because I can't really see anybody in our entire 11 right now, except maybe Ronnie and De Gea, that deserves or has any right to be on the pitch.
Yeah, the rest of them can collect their P45s and walk, to be fair.
Half of them are already gone at the end of the season from leaving on their contracts. The other ones are going to be sold. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, mate. Goodbye. See you. Here's the door. Come on, bye. Out, all of it. Bye. Come on. Out.
Okay. That's the lineup, guys. Let's talk about the game. I know, look, this is going to be really difficult for us to talk about this game. But first half, with that lineup that we started with, if you remember the game at Old Trafford, Brighton run the first half. They performed like it was Ole football, boys against men. This is in the previous game. And it started like that again, first 10 minutes. I was thinking, okay, we can't get out. What I had in my notes was we can't play in their half. We can't get out. They keep holding on to the ball. And then obviously in the 14th minute, they scored. And Telles, this is where I'm going to back you up, Connor, because I'm sure you guys are going to go ripping him. I will as well. Telles had a poor clearance and it led to a goal. I was when he done the clearance, I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know, are you a defender or what? But yeah, it was a terrible clearance, and then that just led to calamity after calamity, and then they scored, and it was a fine goal for the young man, someone we were linked with before he came. He's only, I think, it was really cheap, 10 million or so, but 5 mil. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So, what do you think about 14 minutes gone? We've conceded. Start with you, Patrick.
Well, yeah,
and just in general, the first half.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell we just weren't at the races to start off with as well. But coming up to that goal, we never closed them down. We didn't close them down for that goal. None of them. They went there. Oh, should we again? I talk about these games. Should we go for it? I don't. Oh yeah, go on then. And it's too late. But Tellez again, dreadful as he is, all game he has been for a while now. Clearance, row 5 in N50. What's going on? What's that all about? But do you know what? Again, we did. I just noticed we never closed them down. And to be fair, Brighton were really bright first half, very, very bright, and they were attacking us. They were all over us first 20 minutes up to that goal, definitely. You know,
Connor.
Dreadful.
No, it's embarrassing. Like he said, fucking punt it to Rosette, punt it back to Porto where you fucking belong anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, just do something with it. I mean, Usain Bolt or my nan could probably have hit a better clearance with that instead of hitting it straight up in the air right to. It wasn't even like it was like we're taught from an early age, and we all play football, so we all know this. We're all taught from an early age: when in doubt, hit it out, right? When in doubt, out towards the touchline.
Yeah.
Never hit it back. He heads it not only back into the middle, but back into the middle right towards the Brighton player. If you boot it, if you just head it to the side, there's nobody to the left of you. Boot it to the left. Fine, you have to go then chase for it, and you have to go battle with a Brighton player. Fine, but at least it doesn't end up right at the foot of a Brighton player who just kind of lets it off, and then he's right. Paddy's right. I mean, McTominay goes and tries to put a block in, but doesn't really close him down fully. No one really closes him down fully, and then it goes right through Lindelof's legs. Who, if we want to talk about, it's funny that they're going. Lindelof is so. It makes me laugh. All these players like bench them. This guy just needs more time, and every time that's been said about a player, they've been just as bad or worse than the person they're replacing. And I've seen someone say Lindelof's the best of the center backs, and I'm like, well, he's still pish. Yeah. So obviously, it's not really a great thing to say that he's the best defender that we have because he's still absolutely poor.
Yeah.
It's just it's shambolic all around. It's a terrible game. I feel bad for De Gea because De Gea in another side, in a better side, probably leads the league in clean sheets right now with how he plays. But because of the team he has in front of him, it's just shite all around.
We're going to come to the comments in a minute, but don't forget, guys, if you're watching, press that like button, guys. Press like Brighton pressed us today. Get on it hard and fast so we can support the channel. So I know later on in the 42nd minute, there's a long ball. This is Sanchez, the keeper, off his line, played a long ball over the top. Varane failed to control it, and it almost went through for Danny Welbeck to sort of chip it over the keeper. That was another major error. But in the first half, they dominated us. They went in 1-0 up, and there was a couple of mistakes there, Varane and Tellez, and we looked all out of shape, to be honest. Patrick?
Yeah, we were very unlucky not to get away with that. I thought that was going to be a goal. To be fair, very unlucky. But again, going back to Lindelof, I think Lindelof was at 6s and 7s for that. Again, I blame Mourinho for buying him, by the way. He's never been our best defender, but again, another comedy actor at the back there, isn't he? One of many there, not good enough. They're substandard, some of these players. But like you say, they were all over us. Oh my God, it was backs to the wall football. It was. And that was really unlucky. And Welbeck, bless him, he was very unlucky today. That was another one, 2 misses he had. But we were lucky to get away with that on Monday. Very lucky indeed.
Connor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this going, are we actually going to show any fight today, any fight in this game? And I mean, I will say, I'm not going to blame the ref because we were poor. The ref first 30 minutes wasn't great. A lot of decisions I thought were questionable that seemed to always kind of favor Brighton a little bit with his calls in the first 30 minutes. But bottom line is we were poor. It was just a terrible game all around. You look at it, and Varane is, but he's a Rolls Royce. We were like, oh, it's Rolls Royce Varane, and when he's not been injured, he's been great. But it seems like I think everybody's just thinking about holiday at this point. I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared to let some of these players go on holiday because I'm scared one of them's going to go to Greece again and get arrested. So, I mean, I'm kind of scared about kind of scared about people going on holiday at this point. Like, oh, if you're going to go and
Their
get arrested, I don't know if I
mindset.
want to send you on holiday.
Yeah. If they're that fragile on the pitch, I mean, how are they going to be in day-to-day life? It's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go through a few of the comments because there's a lot of things being said, which I want to highlight here. So obviously, this is the Man United agenda. We're here to promote it. Give us a subscriber on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So, and we're ever so grateful for everyone who tunes in. So big up to TalkMU. Just done a live watch along. He must be gutted. Big up to Mr. B is in the house. Big up Sue. I say that in a sad, disappointing way. My enthusiasm is gone at the moment. I'm really disappointed. Really glad I'm not on tonight, says Mr. B. Yeah, Mr. B would be vexed. Just want to say hi to Mark Foster. He's asking what happened, lads. He's a Liverpool fan, but he's a big supporter of the Man United agenda. We're embarrassed, says Sue. So embarrassing. Cosman's in the house. Hi, Cosman. How you doing? He says, from the reggae song, when you cry, I cry.
His latest comment has me in stitches. I did not see that.
And Sue saying, fair play to Brighton. And we have to agree. Great side. Great performance by him today. MUFC Old School said, been going to watch United for nearly 40 years. I've seen it all until today. Sue is saying, don't do what these players done, dog awful, so weak. Box is in the house. How you doing, Box? He's saying, it does hurt us, Rashford. It doesn't hurt us, Rashford being out. That's to you, Connor. He's lost his pace, says Box. Box has got a lot to say here. He's saying, when did Rashford ever break into sprint since 2020? Ralph is pathetic. To sub Maguire to part the bus. Total embarrassment. Oh my God, Box! I've never seen you like this. You're really gutted. Box is also saying, I'd rather have lost with kids. It would have been character building. Better than losing 4-0 with the same old has-beens. Wow. Alessandro from Puerto Rico, how you doing? Big up, he says. Box saying conceded 4 versus Watford, Leicester, Man City, Liverpool again. And Brighton, wow.
The fact that we conceded 4 to a team that's been relegated this year. Like confirmed relegated this Watford. So we look at those teams. Watford's been confirmed to be relegated. Leeds is currently battling trying to stay up of the people who have
these are the goals conceded.
Yeah. Leeds is down trying to fight to not be taken out. Norwich is pretty much down. And those are the only teams we have that have conceded more than us.
Can we all say a big Man United agenda? Welcome to Ray de Reyes. He says the greatest channel on the face of the earth. Unlike our team at the moment. But yeah, we'll take that one. Thank you, Reyes, and welcome to the channel. He says, MUFC saying, Wan-Bissaka's our best defender and criminally underused. Box is saying we have a 1+1 goal difference. Liverpool and City have over 60 plus 60. We are so far behind, it's untrue. Ranić has further added to the problems he feels. Another welcome to Reyes from TalkMU. Wan-Bissaka is 100% not our best defender, says Box. There's a bit of a debate there. In civil war now, civil war. We're so poor, we're fighting amongst ourselves. Alexandra says Ronaldo is gone, he reckons. I think he will be going crazy on them players, a lot worse than Juve for sure. He knows there's no way his players are all being sold. He deserves so much better. Alessandro is saying Manu deserves much more too. Box saying he's always out of position, this is talking about Wan-Bissaka, I think. Always out of position, has no football IQ, always done Hollywood slide tackles to cover up deficiencies, gets giddy over the halfway line, 50 million price tag is up there with 80 million for Maguire.
And somehow apparently Palace is thinking about paying us 40 to get him back.
Well,
we're getting some news here from Cosman that Ralph said, Ralph said that our players are on vacation in his press conference. Wow, that's good. I like that. I like his honesty. Arctic Man. Say hi to Arctic Man, guys. How you doing, bruv? Back again. He said Scotland toilet 1-0 of the ground duels today. And he had less passes than Fred and Matic once again after playing a full 90 minutes. He is the main reason we get destroyed in midfield by every team. He's coming off and Eddie's in the house saying, howdy all. This season has been like an ever-ending nightmare. I hope we get to see some more youth. We've learned all we need from these imposters. And there's 13 likes, and we want some more. So keep it.
He's absolutely right. I mean, it's said that right now Ten Hag wants to see exactly what he has to deal with. We're done seeing what they have to offer. Ship them all on holiday. Let's see what the U23s do. Because I bet you one or two of them are really going to shine if we have them play this last game. One or two of them are going to show, hey, here's a nibble of just what you can get if you just call this guy up. I mean, I'd say, Alvaro Fernandez, I'm a big fan of. Garancho, Hannibal. At this point, hell, I'd even call up Will Fish to be in our back line over the people we have right now, because I think Will Fish would, be a better choice. There's just so many things that we could do differently.
Yeah, I agree. So, go on, sorry, Pad.
It's sad that we have to keep referring back to the youth, because our players should be really doing the business in this team at their ability, and they're not. So we keep, and it's sad. I think it's quite sad, but it's good. We want to bring these players through, but not all of them will come through. As we go back to class of '92, they're all going to come in this golden generation. I don't think so.
Guys, so obviously 1-0 down at half time. Few calamities, few mistakes, and disappointing. But I was of the understanding, okay, they played better than us in the first half last game. We came out and hit them early. Within 5-6 minutes, Ronaldo had scored. But not this time around. We've made 2 changes. We brought off Langa and put Cavani on, and brought on Fred for Matic. Any discuss that, guys? Change of shape, maybe? Because Cavani's coming for Langa. That's the wide man out of the way. Has he gone to a 4-2-2-2?
Whatever it is, it was a terrible decision. Like I said, I don't think Ralph Austin has gotten it wrong. I think more than anything, it's been the players letting him down. That's a really poor substitution decision to take off the one player that has any sort of pace in the entire team right now against a team that their whole thing is having pace. I mean, Cucurella, who we'll get to later. Caicedo's got a decent amount of, there's pace in that Brighton side. That's what they do. And you take off the one player that's got any form of pace for Cavani, who, if you want to talk about a person that's already out the door, Edison Cavani is gone. He's already come out and said that if he would have known that Cristiano Ronaldo was going to be signed by United last summer, he would not have stayed. He would have been gone to come in the summer if he would have known. He's come out and said that publicly.
Yeah.
So why are we playing him?
So what about Lingard? Do you think Lingard should have paid, Paddy?
Hell,
because
no.
He had a stroke with his bruised brother.
Yeah, they're putting no point. I mean, I did see he was on the bench, to be fair, but I'm thinking after what's all gone on, probably not. No, not at all. I mean, leave him where he is now. Leave him where he is, and
go get your brother to chat more shit and go and talk to Scholesy. That's all apparently he's good at doing right now, is talking to Scholesy and leaking crap, and then having his brother do all the talking for him because he's not man enough to say some shit. At least Bailly goes on social media and actually asks for playing time. But, Bailly's Bailly. He got hurt right after he said that.
Twinged his back, didn't he? All right, so after 48 minutes, we had a goal. It was Cucurella. We're going to get on to him a bit later, but he scored a goal. And you know what? All right, let's get on to him later. But he scored a goal, and that was one of the goals. And then they were walking in the ball into the net after that. At 57 minutes, scored again. It was Gross. Not Gross, but Gross. I call him Gross. He makes me sick, especially today. And then it was 4-0 a bit later on. We had a Cavani header from a Mata cross. We had a Maguire header from a corner that Cavani was offside for when the rebound with Maguire. But apart from that, it's 4-0, heads down. Brighton fans are singing. They're all out raving tonight in Brighton. And poor Man United fans, one of the longest journeys they're going to make this season, away games, all the way down to the South Coast, have to go home on maybe a 7-hour journey in despair. Maybe they're tuning into our channel right now. Let's try and lift them up and say something positive. Not. We're going to say something negative.
I have your positivity. I have your positivity right here. I have your positivity. There's only 90 minutes left of this shit. There's 90 minutes left that we have to put up with, and then we're done.
Yeah. I agree. Totally. Now Monday, do you know what? I saw the changes. I don't know. Cavani had a header, but to be fair, those goals, like you say, they walked through our defence. Walked through, just walked. Like singing in. It was like singing in the rain on Monday. Yeah. It was like singing in the rain. He was drifting in and then scored the goal. I mean, what was our defenders doing? None of them were. Are they communicating it? No. And again, they're just dreadful. Just dreadful. I mean, you couldn't write it, could you? You just couldn't write it.
You know what, guys? Enough about the game because it's too painful. Let's talk about what's been our worst defeat. We've lost 4 to Liverpool. We've lost to City twice. Lost 4-1 to Watford, which led maybe to Ole being sacked. and now we've lost 4-0 away at Brighton. So what has been our worst defeat? That's a big question. And also on this, I just want to talk about the season in general. I mean, we've had to change a manager. We started the season, all of us were a bit quite enthusiastic about how we'd do because we came second last season. We brought in better players as well. Just have a quick summary because obviously we've got more shows to come over the next coming weeks. But quick summary with these defeats, what they led to, what's going wrong in your own minds. I'm gonna start with you, Paddy. What's going wrong right, that we can get battered like this? Have a +1 goal difference, and what do you have any excuses? I mean, what you go to games as well. What's your view on it?
Well, do you know what? You talk about defeats. I mean, I went to the Aston Villa game back in September because it was my birthday. I had a big day, and I thought to the Villa game that Villa are up from here. Again, we lost 1-0, about 4 or 5 minutes to go, and I thought we were going to beat them. I thought we always beat Villa, don't we, Aston Villa? But no, our defenders let us down. And then Liverpool Man City game come up. I don't know which one was worse. But again, the whole team as a unit didn't try, didn't do nothing. But you know, it is the defence, though, isn't it? And this is the problem all season. I'm going to sum it up. We know this. You don't have to say. Monday. Connor knows it. It's just been a real, like, I don't know, like a just complete and utter, I don't know, a calamity, hasn't it? Really, like a calamity. I don't see any more than that on those defeats. I can't even single out which one was worse. I think Liverpool possibly was probably the worst, I'd say.
Which one?
Liverpool. Yeah, you're
one,
right. Though? The one at Old Trafford where everyone gave up and didn't bother. That's not a Man United team, is it? That gives up.
Arctic Man saying the 4-0 at home at Anfield was worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'd say the one at home, not the Anfield one. I think it was the worst.
Okay. We're comparing here defeats, Connor. You've got really, your face says it all. Could you want to Connor, talk about the defeats? What's been the worst, the lowest of the low? And also, can you just summarize quickly, where's it gone wrong for you? Because we started the season with a great team. If you look at the players that we had, everything else, what's gone wrong over the course of the season from August to now almost May?
I mean, I'm going to say first, I'm happy you mentioned Singing in the Rain. I might watch Make 'Em Laugh by Donald O'Connor after this to try and get something funny in my life right now that actually gives me joy. Because right now, watching United, I have none. I get the embarrassments of losing to rivals like City and Liverpool, but I think, honestly, our worst defeat's got to be against Watford. I mean, to give up 4 and lose, I think it was like, 4-1? To lose that badly to a team that is now relegated and has never really been in with a shadow of a doubt to stay up is a disgrace. We are so far from where we used to be. Even 3 or 4 years ago, this would have never happened. I mean, it was bad then, but it's gotten worse. And I think what's gone wrong is this is no longer a club where the manager is in charge. With Sir Alex, we had a manager who was the boss. Yep. You didn't question him. You didn't go against him. You didn't disrespect him. He put you in your place if you tried, and he let you know exactly how he felt about you. This is not a team run by a manager. This is a team run by morons upstairs and the players on the field. That is where we've gone wrong. There is no more accountability by these players because they can play as bad as they want and they'll continue to get new contracts. They'll continue to make more money. This is not a team run like it used to be. It is now a team run by morons in the pitch and upstairs.
Great points.
But I will say on Monday, I sent you a clip this week, and I don't know if you've seen it, of Ten Hag, and I want to see, and I wish I'd seen that today by a manager, of telling one of his players, whoever was playing up on the pitch, and Ten Hag going, I thought, that's a glimpse of Ten Hag, and I want to see that next season. If Ten Hag had been in charge today, and I'd seen that, having a go at the players, I'd be well chuffed with that one. But no, unfortunately, Ralph hasn't got that in his locker, has he? Bless him.
Okay, guys, take a breather. I know it's hard. Let's have an orange or something, and let's have a little half time. I'm just going to go through a few of the comments. Guys, don't forget, if you're in the comments, please press the like button. Box is saying, it's key we give Ten Hag 2 years minimum to get the ball rolling. We must trust Eric, even if we have to take a few steps back to go forward. Very wise words. Richard Herbert in the house. How you doing, Rich? I ain't seen you for a while. Your brother's been on here, though, mocking us. He says, Richard's saying, don't know what to say, but not good enough. The United side is diabolical all over the park. Arctic Man is saying it's another United agenda therapy session. Pain, lads. Yes, indeed. And thanks for joining us. Box is saying the mentality of the squad is so low. I can't believe we've had such a soft group. It's like they've all flocked together. Flocks, seagulls. I mean, the jokes are coming in, aren't they, from the rival fans? Arctic Man saying, how are a club not looking for any fullbacks this summer? It's the most important position in the modern game.
We are looking at fullbacks. We are looking at fullbacks. I will say that we are actually looking at fullbacks, specifically at right back and left back.
Sets all around sort of fullbacks. So we got to any other business. Vincent is saying, I was saying 4-0, but it went to the wrong team. One hand that God still allowed. At the end of the day, it's a shambles. It was a goal. Regardless of the going in off. The guy didn't. I don't think he touched his hand. Eddie saying, Paddy, Brighton singing in the rain as they had coached by the English Ten Hag. That was possessions football, a school of possession, really.
And apparently he's in rumor right now he's in line to go to Spurs if Conte leaves.
That would be a good addition.
I do think he would do very well there.
So Box is saying, I think today it's literally encapsulates Manchester United and where we stand today, as Connor was saying earlier. Arctic Man was saying, I think 4-0 at Anfield was the worst. I know we lost 5-0 at home, but the performance was even more embarrassing. They kind of took their foot on the brake, didn't they? Put the foot on the brake, sorry. Watford, Richard saying Watford put a 4 past us. Leicester put 5. So Watford put 4 past us. Leicester have Liverpool 5, and then Brighton 4, and we have no centre midfield. Defence is a joke, and De Gea. Richard also saying defence from August is now shambolic. Yeah. Man United old school saying new manager, a few new players, academy lads to be promoted, and the FA Youth Cup final watched by over 60,000. Hopefully, Spurs are 1-0 up. Go on, Spurs! Stop Liverpool doing this quadruple. Box is saying 4-1 in aggregate to both Watford and Brighton this season. Oh God! Actually, scratch that. We lost to Frank Lampard's Everton, says Arctic Man. So the brother of Richard is here, Andy Herbert, to say big up OMONDI and Paddy, and to you, Connor, as well. Yeah, I think he's missed you. I bet we can't wait to the season, end the season now. 6th place finish is not good enough, really, is it? Vincent is saying, I remember Ollie said it's going to get worse before it can get better. Well, unfortunately, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Something at the club cannot be fixed at the moment. And from TalkMU saying they could see how gullible they were. Play of words about seagulls. Very funny, TalkMU. I'm not going to tell anyone, TalkMU, the brilliant joke that you dropped the other day, because it's a bit rude.
I was going to say, Flock of Seagulls makes me think of the band.
No, Cantona.
Okay, guys, I think this is a positive note about footballers. I want to talk about this young man. He was at Barcelona B, came through to Barcelona. They didn't want him. They felt that he needed to go on loan. Be sold with a minimum, with a buyback clause, that kind of thing. He's stayed in Spain a couple of seasons, and Brighton, with a great scouting academy, they picked him out and signed him, and now he's a Brighton player. First season in the Premiership, he looks outstanding. Obviously, he scored today, but not only did he score, he was moved. He was on Langer's case. He was playing in the back three, the third, left back of the centre of the 3 centre backs, but also when they had possession, he was able to play as a wing back. And he was just causing so much trouble, loads of energy, great technique, good on the ball, good crossing, always a threat, doesn't give the ball away, gets in hard with the tackles. And when he scored that goal, the camera got done a close-up, and he was so passionate. He was so much desire throughout the game. He was so passionate. I thought, wow, Brighton should be proud of this young man. And as a football fan, I'm proud of him too, because he has stepped up this season to be. I saw a chart the other day where they done stats, and on the data, he's marked as an elite left back based on what he's done this year, and this is throughout the whole of Europe. So players like Robinson, all that kind of thing, he surpasses them about his distribution, keeping the ball. Well, all these thousands of data stats they provide. So when I saw him emotional like that, I thought, wow, this is a player. Not only can you play ball, but you've got that desire, you want to achieve, you want to perform, and you want to represent yourself and your team 100%. So that's why I've made a caption about him. And I wanted you guys to talk about him and why This is what it takes to be a full package of a player. Let's talk about Cucurella. Anyone want to go first? Patrick.
Yeah. Do you know what? He stood out for me today, and I think he stood out for me in the first game. Actually, when we played Brighton, he's always lively, energy. He reminds me. You know, when I saw him today, he's a Spanish. You know, the Colombian player that plays up front with the hair. I don't know what his name is now.
Valderrama.
Yeah, he looked very much like that on the hair side. Bless him. But I thought he was brilliant, and he got that goal. Fantastic. Really, he never stopped all that. And he epitomised Brighton today and their energy and their passion today. He really did. He never stopped. He never stopped going. He wanted, and I didn't see that in my team. I didn't see one player like that. Why? Why not? Got Elanga in there, younger players. Why can't you just use that passion? Use what that player's got his passion and going for it. Didn't stop. He was like a Duracell battery today. You know, he was. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was great. I thought he was bright, energetic. Wanted the ball all the time, never stopped all day, going. And our players went, can you just stop for a minute? Can you just stop for a bit? You know, Dell out a bit, you know, and he was going, but I thought he was great. I thought he was really good. He stood out for me. I think he should have got man of the match, except for the other lad got man of the match. It was good as well for them.
Connor, why was he crying? And what do you think about his performance?
I mean, I knew this guy was a good player when I've actually known about this guy for a bit. I actually saw him when he first came to Brighton and knew he was already a player and knew that he's been one of my underrated, very best signings of when he came in. Because their ability to bring in a player of his quality, I think Barcelona made a huge mistake getting rid of him in the first place because I think he's an extremely good player. And you know, he leaves and goes to Brighton for only about 18 million. 18 million for a left back of his quality. If our players had anywhere near the amount of commitment and passion left in them that he has every single time he plays, we might be a better team. If our team had anywhere near the quality of him, we'd be battling for top 4 still.
Yes.
But he's a great player. I think Barcelona's made some really questionable decisions, and right up there with that is him being sold because he is such a top player, and he goes so under the radar because of who he plays for. You put him in this Arsenal side or Spurs, or I honestly think he could do it. I mean, he could do a job anywhere. Any team you put him in, he'd do a job. All the way up to the guys fighting for the title right now. He is such a good player. I've had my eye on him for over a year now, and I knew he'd be good, and he once again just showed he's a phenomenal player.
Totally agree with everything both of you said. Brilliant. McTominay was like electrical pylon. Just a couple of things here about why he was crying. Cosmo says he was crying when he saw how bad United are. It's shite. Vince is saying it just shows Ralph has to board. Can I bring someone in January? We need a striker, and was told no. Richard saying get rid of most of them and put Ten Hag put on the price tag.
Over under on how many players that we think should stay. I'm going to put the over under at 5 players that I think we should keep at United. Over or under?
Guys, I think it's getting more and more by each week that goes by. I think we need more players than ever. Guys, we're going to wind up the show very soon now. So just any other business. I think, Paddy, you got some news that you want to drop?
Yeah, I mean, the news broke this morning, didn't it, about Paul Pogba possibly going to Manchester City. I pondered on that today. I don't know if they are looking for midfield. He does like Pep Guardiola, but I don't know if there's anything in it. I mean, he's a free agent and somebody can go, but I don't think that will work. And I personally don't think it will work him going to Man City. I don't think he really likes someone like Guardiola, who's quite an authoritarian and he's quite a disciplinarian. I can't see Pogba fitting into the style possibly. No, I hope not. But it may happen. If it is, it is. You know, that's it. But we'll deal with it. But that may happen, may not do. I doubt it.
Any thoughts on that, Connor? About do you think Pogba would actually go to City? Be another Tevez? Do you think he'd fit into City?
I see. The thing is, he would be a Tevez because he's been too shite to be anywhere near the class that Tevez was for us. That's the thing. No, he'd be more like a Welbeck, and I get Welbeck's, funny enough, been a player who always seems to do the business against us. But Now, Pogba can go. He's a disgrace. And I'm not just saying that, I'll probably get called racist at some point for that if it gets clipped. But he's a disgrace because he shows no fight to ever want to play for this team.
Why would you be called that? He is
because if you go on Twitter and anybody goes against Pogba, I've seen pretty much anybody who goes against Pogba, his little stands who are so far up his ass they might as well be coming out of his throat, will immediately say that you're racist or some sort of thing.
The reason I say he's a disgrace is because someone of that ability, I know the side, I think Man United have let him down, a bit of balance here. I think when he looks back at his career, he can say, I really should have done better at Man United. He's got one Europa League or something like that. I can't remember what else he might have won, but not much. And I think it's been a waste, a waste of talent. And shame on Man United and shame on him because that is just a big disaster. One of the best players in world football, if utilised correctly. And it has been disgraced. Not just him as a player, but the whole move. How can we buy him for 100 million and then sell him and it goes for free? It's like you can't even make this up. It's really bad. But it probably goes.
If you look at his statistics by club, he's played 233 matches for us, right? 39 goals, 51 assists. In 178 games, he had 34 and 40 for Juventus. So in about 50 more matches, he's had 5 more goals and 11 more assists. And about 50, 60 more appearances. And that's... you look at that, and Juventus, his whole thing with Juventus is he's still young. He's just going to continue to get better. And there's nothing really in the statistics to show that he has.
Guys, where would you go? What sort of side would be more suitable for you?
PSG for him.
He'll go to PSG. He'll want to go back to France, and he'll want to go join up. He'll want to go back to the oil. He'll fit right in.
Okay. Any other business, Connor?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just want to work on that on Monday. You mentioned that then. You're a player at Man United. You want to be considered as you look back. Was he a great player? Can we put him in that museum of what I consider the greats of Charlton and Best? But no, sadly, with all that ability, and he was a good player, he won't be considered. He'd be considered as like who's the player that went to PSG in the end? The Argentinian.
Di Maria.
Goodbye, failure. Bye. Didn't match up, did you, mate? No, bye. See you. All on your bike. See you. That's it. Sad, isn't it? I wouldn't want that.
The whole thing's a disgrace that we can't get the best out of one of the best players in world football, I believe. You look at the World Cup 2018.
I don't think he tries to. I don't think he tries to, honestly. That's the problem. He hasn't tried to.
So both to blame, maybe the player himself and the club as well. Because we should have a club manager that will get the best out of these players, and we haven't.
He and Cavani are both the same way. They play a hell of a lot more games for their international side than they do for the club. It's very interesting that they're always healthy for their international team.
We've got a comment here from SHAH United. How you doing, SHAH? I'm not going to ask. You're probably doing really badly at the moment, and. Really sad. So Pogba knows the demands of the Premier League. He has niggling injuries. An executive decision is to let him go now. No new contract. And use the money elsewhere. Pogba has been a fantastic player on his day. Rebel's saying, "Hi Rebel, how you doing, man? Hope you get better." Rebel's been a bit poorly lately. Pogba goes to Paris and takes his paycheck. In my opinion, I don't think he has any fight in him to play to the level he's capable of anymore. And talking, you say Pogba cannot keep up with the pace. That Man City player, and no way he will go there. And MUFC old school said he can't get the best out of himself.
I agree with it.
I believe, Connor, you got some other business. Well, you heard of grapevine.
With Chelsea, of course, there's been them getting new ownership, which has been, I know, a long and arduous process of them getting ownership. And I couldn't really give a toss if they were liquidated or they got new owners. So, it's just they've got new owners. Fair enough. But it's interesting that, like we said with Lingard, his brother coming out saying, why did he not get a farewell? And I forget who it was, whether it was Rio or Neville. He's like, you have no right to demand a send-off because you're nowhere near the class of some of the players that have left and didn't get send-offs, like Berbatov and some other players who left with no send-off, and you're nowhere near the class. The reason Mata and Matic got it is because they've been here a long time, and they've helped this team win trophies and actually been class. I mean, look at Romero. He got no send-off, and they're about the same quality. Romero in goal and Lingard in the field. And then it's come out from Ralph, who just does not care about talking about any of the players or about the team in general. says he was told to be left out of the Chelsea. He didn't play because Lingard went to Ralph and said, "Do not release me from the game. I don't want to play against Chelsea, so leave me out the squad." So why do you think you deserve any right to get a farewell in the last home game when you don't have the balls to go play against Chelsea?
There we go. I mean,
power in it.
It's been a sad day. Yeah, sad day, sad season. Hopefully, there will be improvements made.
He sums up the team right now. Entitled, spoiled. Lingard, no quality, entitled, and spoiled beyond all belief.
Yeah.
And that's why Ten Hag should come and go, do you know what, mate? You're gone. And that player, and rightly, Kieran mentioned it earlier, that player that you had to go at Ten Hag in that video I sent to you, he was gone a month after. See you gone.
Yeah. That's what we want to see. A bit more discipline and a few slaps handed out. That's what we need. After today was a prime example of a team that just can't be bothered. And no matter how good you are, you can have the best players in the world. If you haven't got that desire, you're going to get turned over and turned out every week. And that's what's happening to us at the moment. So, oh well. Anyway, guys, it's a pleasure having you guys chat about this game. This will go down in history as one of my worst streams ever. I'm usually enthusiastic and positive.
Tried our best.
Yeah, we tried. We did try.
Bring on the summer. Bring on Ten Hag. Bring on the max exodus of all these players finally leaving. I can't wait to know. Oh my gosh, the relief I'm going to have when I no longer have to hear about Pogba. The Pogba saga being done with is going to be the greatest part of my summer.
Yeah, it's a relief.
It's a relief.
Before we go, just a couple more comments here because Abed is in the house. How you doing, Abed? Thanks for joining us. He's saying, I'm so ashamed. I don't even know what to say. Shambles, just useless. That result against Brighton. He's very, very disappointed. Oh, God. He's saying, I've never been lower in my life. He's saying Chelsea will now be the club to lead the charge into the USL. Those businessmen have not bought the club to not get any money back for 10 years. And in fact, they may not get the money back. And Vincent, you're getting the last comment out here. Jesse is a failure. Just like his close company, spends too much time on social media network instead of putting more time into earning a spot into the team. Sorry, as Big Dunk would say, steal a spot. Yeah. All right, guys. On that note, we're going to sign out. I hope the rest of you guys, Connor and Paddy, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope whatever you decide to do, maybe we should just go to bed and try to sleep this off. Because it's very painful.
It's 1:15 in the afternoon. I can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just find something else, another sport to watch. Because Man United, we will not play for another 2 weeks, and rightly so. I don't want to see this side if they're playing like that for a long time. Let's get back to the old days where we could play some good football, have a bit of fight in us, and have some big losers. If we lose, we go down fighting like men. Not like.
I mean, I've had one good thing soccer-wise happen this year, and that's that my Scottish team won the Scottish Championship, so they're going right back up to the Prem. Besides that, it's just been. I've hated turning on the TV. I've hated turning on the soccer this year. Besides that, it's been dreadful.
Fair play to Rangers for reaching the final as well. That was a good.
Yeah, that's massive. I honestly think they can go on and win that.
Celtic's my team. Sorry, Celtic would always be my team. Sorry.
Nope.
Well, any British side get into a final. I mean, like Liverpool, Real Madrid, Rangers against Frankfurt, and Roma. Who are they playing in the Conference League final? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Hopefully, we don't have to worry about Conference League next season. But yeah, anyway, good luck to the rest of the teams for the rest of the season. Man United have finished. We probably stopped in January or maybe like even August last season. Our season was over. But fair play. We start again next season, and make sure you tune into the Man United Agenda. Thanks everyone for the wonderful comments, and we're out. Having a good weekend. See you later.